Hello. So, uh, it took me over 4 hours to go through all the patch notes, but after that, I decided that I'll get some notes for myself, so I can provide you guys a nice shorter version. It's still probably not gonna be short, but yeah, I guess this is gonna be the patch notes, TLDR. From the Blight League itself, well, we know that the towers are not gonna be mandatory to use when your build is gonna be good, so the moment your build doesn't stop sucking, you can probably start skipping using the totems for the blight stuff. The chests, after you clear the lanes, are gonna have Legion-like rewards, so that means we're gonna get some good shit. Most likely gonna be able to get a Headhunter. And yeah, that's pretty much all about the actual league itself. We'll see how that turns out. Then let's go to skill/support gems and then like the skill mechanics. First of all, skill gems are now capped at level 40. This was not in the patch notes. This was confirmed by Rory in the Reddit in regards to a different topic where they were asking about can we get a +5 levels, like you can have a staff with a +3, I think it was +3 fire and then +2 all spell gems. So that means that let's say you had SRS on your chest piece, like a main chest piece, you can have extra +5 levels with the staff. So that's pretty good. Let's just say that. Impale completely dodged the nerf hammer. So there's that. Impale is extremely strong. Let's go to minions specifically. There's a lot of minion resist and damage reduction now, which is good. Both on the skill tree, you have it on one of the two gems as well. The meat shield has like less damage taken, which is really strong, and then the old minion and elemental totem resistance has like now only works for minions, and it gives you resist, and it gives you up to 4 max res as well, which is pretty strong. I mean, even slightly bit, yeah, it's like up to 4 with 2020, which is really strong. We do get less life regen though, but I don't think that's going to be an issue with the base life going up and just general more resistance. We can actually make sure that our resistances or minions are capped and all that. Even with Convocation, which I think has like 1.6% or something like that, instead of flat, which is really nice now though. The cooldown on Convocation is now 3 seconds. The base cooldown, it goes past that with like levels, which is nice. Desecrate no longer has cooldown, which has opened a lot of interesting stuff for something like body swap totems, for example. It's pretty interesting. Offerings are in general just buffed because it's easier to get the full duration because it requires less corpses to get it, and each corpse gives you more than before. So previously you needed 9 corpses, now you only need 5. This also actually slightly buffed, like just strictly buffed Spirit Offering as well. Previously you could get up to 18% ES, like base ES, if you consume 9 corpses. Now it's 20 from 5, so that's nice. SRS changes are really nice. So if you're like locking onto a enemy when you cast SRS, the SRS when you cast, like the SRS cast while you had the lock on, target that only until they die. The target dies, or I think when you go too far away from the target, it like kills up. I mean, your SRS just vanish after you go if you're too far away from them. So there's that too. Zombies, well, they lost they lost like 100% cooldown reduction if you use 2 jewels. However, previously it was a 5-second base cooldown, and it's gonna be 4 now. And the zombie levels give you cooldown reduction. So when you have a level, it's 4% per level. So at level 26 gem, you will get a 2-second cooldown. And you also don't need to use 2 jewels for that. But yeah, the cooldown is slightly longer than it is right now. But I don't think it's going to be an issue with the extra attack speed, the movement speed, and all the other stuff we have now for minions, I think it's gonna be fine. It might be a bit worse for like pure clearing, but for single target and shit like that, it's not gonna be. It might actually be just straight up better. Also, we have more AoE to scale for it. Though Pulverize no longer has more, now it's just increased. If you were a Necro, which you probably were, then you probably lost some AoE, because you had Ink AoE as a Necro, and then you used Pulverize, which then multiplied that. But now, if for any non-Necro, you're gonna have a really good AoE, because like Guardian has some AoE, Ascendant has some AoE, and there's some AoE in the skill tree, so I don't think that's gonna be a big deal in the end. We're gonna get +1 extra zombie for every 5 levels. We'll have 4 at level 5, like gem level 5, 5 at 10, and it caps at 10 at 35 from the skill. You can increase that from other sources as well. Spectres have absolutely insane tier scaling possibilities. You can have like level 90 Spectres with a level 30 gem. You get 1 extra Spectre per 10 levels, so you have 3 at 21, well, 2 at 11, 3 at 21, and then it caps at 4 at 31, because, you know, we can't get past 40. Not sure why it caps at 10, by the way, instead of 11 at 40 for zombies, but yeah. So, this is really easy to get if you're a Necro. Like, you get at level 18 gem already, you can have the extra 3. You also have 1 in the skill tree. In the, I can just put it here quick. You still have that 1 extra plus Spectre here. So at level 18 gem, if you're a Necro, it gives you +2, and then like have +1 somewhere, maybe like bound crafted boots. You hit 4 Spectres already, so that's really nice. It's easier to get than before. You don't need to sacrifice item slots nearly as much for that. And then you can also get an extra at level 31. This is definitely achievable in Trade League, especially with something like +3 Minion Helm. High item level Bone Elder. Elder Bone Helmets are going to be expensive as fuck. There's the div card for the item level 100. Do not sell that for cheap, because for that you could get a +3 gem levels, minion damage, and more Ellie damage. So that's basically like a 6-link with an extra empower on top. So you can hit the 31, and that's gonna be insane. Raise Skelly summons, so how many it summons at once? So you get 4 at level 21, 5 at 31. So it's like 7 level differences. So that you get like 3 at 14. The max amount grows every 6 levels, so you have 8 at 18, 8, this should be 9, 24, etc, etc. So I think if you hit the level 31, then, well, with 2 uses of the skill, you get all of your skellies, which is kind of nice. There's also the jewel that gives you extra. I think it was +4, maybe? I can't remember exactly. But yeah, it's really good. Golemancers are really nice. We'll talk about that more when you get to the Elementalist. In general, minions just got buffed, especially offensively, and they got a lot of utility. The resistance is so big, it's insane. Resistance has been one of the biggest issues for minion builds for a long time. This is talking about the minion resist gem now, because it gives damage. I mean, it also had damage before, but the max resist up to 4% is insane. Going from 75 to 79, all Ellie res. It's also Ellie res, not max res. It's big. Then we have the quote-unquote stances. They're not stances, but you know. You have the Death Mark, Feeding Frenzy, and Meat Shield. All of them are insanely good jewels. You'll see more about those in the gems video if you want to check that. It'll be somewhere later. Animate Guardian and Kingmaker with Meat Shield. Kingmaker gives nearby allies Fortify, a lot of crit multi and cooling strike, so that's kind of good. And Meat Shield makes the minions stay near you, and it makes them take less damage. So we will definitely see animated guardian setups on non-minion builds, I think. Let's say you have if you don't regard your helm slot, if you get a random elder helm, get like +2 minions and maybe a minion life on it, then you slap animated guardian, meat shield, and then the minion resist. Now that's basically taking 3 links, and you can have 1 extra off link or something, or you can put Fortify on him if you want, and that's gonna give you a lot of crit multi, and it gives you basically a permanent Fortify. That's pretty good. And calling strike. No more +1 Spectre items, which is not an issue really when we look at this. So Vis Mortis doesn't have that, but Vis Mortis has up to 20% daily damage as extra chaos, which is a lot of damage. Bones Fossil crafted boots. The Bone crafted don't have extra Spectre anymore, they just plus levels. However, the Delve specific chest mod, so there's a Delve mod that like a node that is drops or contains minion or aura items, that can drop a rare chest piece that has a +1 Spectre. And then you can just craft that from there. So that's freaking big. It was already big, but now it's even bigger because Vis Mortis doesn't have extra Spectre. Golems are Bok. Very good. It's twice because they're good. Herald of Agony is unchanged, but it's actually buffed because the Vicious Projectile got buffed now. Death Mark, you can actually make your boy aim where you want it. Nice. And then other changes. It's just good. Mine specifically, so I'm not really sure about the mine mechanical change rework yet. They still, to me, feel like they're traps, but we'll have to see how it plays out. They look strong, especially damage-wise. And I think support miners could actually be a thing. I really think that could be a thing. Because you get so much stuff from them if you increase the aura effect. Like, if you scale aura effect, you can run auras yourself, and then you throw mines to debuff the enemies with, like, you know, chance to take double damage, increased damage taken, flat damage, like flat fire damage on hits, extra crit chance against. There's a lot of stuff. Minefield throws 5 mines versus normal you get 1, but you have a crazy less throwment speed, so it could potentially feel extremely clunky. But we'll see. If you get a little crazy, like the base is 0.25, if you then scale that even further, which you can, there's throw speed and like throwment speed, sorry, like all over the place with support gems and whatnot. So it might not feel entirely shit. We'll see. But for mapping, it looks like probably want to use it because, you know, instead of throwing 1, you just throw 1, and we'll see. Other skills. Wild Strike with combat focus seemed extremely interesting, but actually typed this before we got to news. So they, if you do Wild Strike with the cold one, it always pierces, right? So we were thinking about, you know, you have the Exa chains from the lightning version, and you have the helm enchantment for even more. So if you're Deadeye, you could actually have like over 100% more damage because it's a projectile and it benefits from the remaining chains because it can never use the chains because it always pierces. However, we got a confirmation that if you do that, then it might actually not be at the when it goes live, but shortly after that, it doesn't benefit from the extra chains when the lightning one is taken out with the combat jewels, the combat focus jewels. Righteous Fire for most builds are buffed, especially for non-ES scaling versions. So if you're Blight-based or IMOM, so you can actually make a high MOM build now because it has a base degen instead of just purely scaling off your life for ES. But if you had like 20k ES, well, then you probably got nerfed. But for life and MOM builds, Righteous Fire got buffed. We'll come to that soon. I'm not personally interested in all of the poison skills, except Venom Gyre, also known as the Mamba Strike. They really did a good job at showcasing it in the video. It looks really, really fun. And then so does the Plague Bearer. Cyclone will still be at least decent, even after all the nerfs. I know I will be playing Cyclone this league on my Delving character, most likely. Yeah, Pulverize. The biggest issue with melee skills in general is the AoE, and then, well, we lost the AoE. Sure, it's increased, but they didn't increase the number of the increase. Instead, it went from, like, at level 20, it went from 34 more to 34 increased. But they increased the damage, which we did not need. Tornado Shot got Fork Bug, so that means that, I mean, it doesn't kill the single target, but it's lot worse. Helm Enchant, so you went from Uberlap Enchant from 2 additional secondary projectiles to 1. That's gonna be fine. This is gonna have Chain and Forks and Herald of Ice, it's fine. Chain, like mechanically Chain, got big time buffed. So basically, previously, you could, like, different projectile could try to chain for the same target, meaning it wouldn't do anything, but now that won't work anymore, so basically you get more AoE. Spectral Shield Throw, they changed so it works properly now for Point Blank, and the chain mechanics for shit like Point Blank and Gloomfan, and so it does work. So the effect carries over to the minor projectiles from the explosion. So overall, it's probably nerfed to Point Blank because it probably calculates the distance from your character instead of where it started. So that means less damage from the Point Blank, but it should be extra from Gloomfang because it calculates the amount of change it has done properly now, I think. I haven't played regular Shield Throw, maybe ask that, like, someone Octavian who knows forever, but to me this sounds like a nerf to Point Blank mechanic. Counter attacks, especially with Facebreaker, just got pooped on. They reduced the flat physical damage a lot. Wall skills got a bit, they got shafted with the reduced Wall Soul skill. Like how they calculate the reductions. So you can't have 3 Wall Soul skill anymore. You could do that for something like Wall Spectral Throw, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, so you can't have 3 Wall skill anymore. Wall Immortal Call got Glutonate. I don't know if you can actually get this in leagues, but basically what happened is you can't gain souls when it's on anymore, and Temp Chains does not increase the duration of it anymore, or any Temp Chain-like effect. Reduced mana now actually useful. I think it's called Inspired something, Inspiration support maybe. It has a lot of LE damage and crit. Also, this can work with Righteous Fire now. If you use another skill, so you have Righteous Fire linked to this, and then you have another skill like Mobility skill like Flame Dash linked to it. Then you use Flame Dash to generate the charges because it gives you a charge whenever you use mana with a skill. And then any skill that has that as a link gets the bonus from the daily damage. So that could be interesting there. Mana Lead support, might as well, seriously, just remove it from the game. It only gives you mana leads for attacks. It gives you like 3 point something mana leads and some 10% increased damage while leeching mana if you have quality on it. It's like, just remove it. Multi-strike, I don't even want to talk about it. I feel like every time I see this I have to explain why it feels bad. It's good for minion builds, for single target, but that's pretty much it. Passive tree, let's go Ascendancies. So Ascendant, well, offerings got buffed, just like Necromancer. So it went from 50 effectiveness to 75 now, which means better block and everything from it. Base crit from Shadow went down from 1 to 0.75. Hurts a bit. But now you get in Elusive, which is 10% on kill. You'll probably be able to have it. But I feel like you just end up using one of the support gems, or like the support if you're playing a dagger or claw build, just to get to Elusive, honestly. But it's still a buff for that still. Guardian is really good. You get a permanent onslaught if you have allies nearby. I don't remember exactly how many it was. I think it was 5? While there are at least 5, yeah. Nearby allies. Minions are allies, so it doesn't have to be party members, like actual other people. So if you don't have a real friends, just have minions and you're good to go. So that's nice. The Sabo region, well, it got nerfed, just like Sabo there. Berserker, justified nerfs. It lost it double damage from Crave the Slaughter. It basically got slapped in here, and then you lost some crits from here. Yeah, crit chance and crit multi. Chieftain, it looks like it got nerfed here. The fire damage summertime multiplier used to be more burning damage, but overall, every single degen build basically is better now because of the new modifier, which you can stack a lot. Guardian, I really love what they did with Guardian. So instead of having specific stuff here, now they are just generic. So you have resist. You can give onslaught to everyone around you with 5 near and allies as well. And if you have 1, so if you have like a golem, that's 10% more damage. So Guardian is a legit option for minion builds. And then here we also have just damage, attack, cast, and movement speed. AoE, Intimidate, Unnerve. Unnerve is basically Intimidate, but for spells. So that's really strong. Guardian is Hierophant. Damn, I like what they did here. So, Transfiguration of Mind. I don't remember exactly the values. I think it might have been 30% of your increased maximum mana as spell damage. I think. So that's like if you have 200%, then it's like 60% spell damage. And then they gave what? If you have 5,000 unrestricted mana, that's 100% in KoE. And then a massive less mana cost. This is just really nice. Indicon, by the way, especially with the mana flasks now, Indicon is taking a return, by the way. Both Hierophant and Pathfinder Indicon are going to be really nice. Yep. Raider, well, it's better than before. I don't think it's really competitive with most of the proper Ascendancies, though. But I think we're getting a rework of Raider in 3.9, so that's nice. Saboteur, well, lost its regen. This especially hurts Trappers, because Trappers don't really have another way to generate life back. For Miners, there's a Leech unique loves, but I don't see people really using them. The Explosive Expert is really nice now. That's a really strong node. This is basically unchanged, this is unchanged, and then this is changed because of so you have some aura effect. You get hinder, which is really nice. Don't have to roll a hinder mod on your jewel anymore for a chance on hit. Now you get the hinder always. Some AoE, some damage, throwment speed, and some detonation. Well, I think Sabo is gonna be good still for both mines and traps. Yeah, the ailment sheet is really good. So basically go crit, have some cold damage, some lightning and fire damage, and you get pen, crit chance, and crit multi. And you get AoE, and you have reduced area damage from hits as well, which is good. Trickster, maybe they're gonna nerf it in 3.9 enough, so it's not GG anymore. Basically, you just lost a bit of chance to evade, I believe. Reduced damage went from 3, I think it was 4 to 3, or it was 5, I don't remember exactly. The reduced damage was 3. Ghost Shroud, it's like every 2 seconds up to 3, that's the same. The ES recovery from your evasion was 5 before. So what I think this will end up doing is like life ES hybrids are going to be a bit to play, but like CI builds are gonna be still good. CI ED Contagion is still gonna be strong here. Assassin, dude, I love this. Everything here is good, but if you don't take Mistwalker, on your build, on assassin build, I'm gonna find you in real life and I'm gonna shame you. I'm gonna take the bell from Game of Thrones and I'm gonna shame you because this is fucking insane. At least if you're a hardcore player. You take no extra damage from critical strike, while elusive is like one of the most broken mods in the game. Defensively, that's insane. You also got a crazy movement speed, dodge and spell dodge from elusive. You get attack and cast speed, and you get reduced damage taken. Just like they made ambush and assassinate also work for ailments, which is nice. The poison path here is really good. Now you have a power charge on unstoppable infusion instead of deadly infusion, and you get extra movement speed here. And opportunistic is really nice. Well, that's a lot of movement speed. The base elusive movement speed is 40%. This is 20%, and there's another 10 here. If you go this, that's a lot of movement speed. Obviously, on average, it's less than 40 because of the effectiveness of your elusive. So instead of having a set duration, it starts with 100%, well, 125 as an assassin. So you have 50% movement speed at the start, and then it gradually goes down. And the average house at 25%, unless you use the new skill Withering Step that resets your current elusive to your max. And when you use another skill after that, it goes poof. So what this means is you can reset your elusive with Withering Step, and then get another one from Mistwalker. And that way you can keep the effect high at all times. Basically, you use your skills. You see, oh shit, my elusive is like below like 80%. You use Withering Step. It's also mobility skill, so nice. If you're a chaos damage build like poison, well, it also has the wither in there, which is nice. And then you just use another skill and boom, you have the 100% again. Well, 125. So that's really nice. It is also very much needed defensive option for Herald Autobombers. Herald Autobombers take Mistwalker, Ambush, and then Deadly Infusion, most likely. I think. Overall, this is really good. Assassin is a strong choice for my starter, even if I don't go Poison at all. Mistwalker, Ambush, Support. These five are just, oh, they're good. Yeah, violent speed and momentum, yep. Slayer justified small nerfs. You lost like a bit of base crit and movement and attack speed. That's it. Necro, I absolutely love the rework on Necro as well. Instead of having specific skill shit, now there you just have overall stuff. Support Necros, actually gonna be insane again. Commander of Darkness, you go Corpse Pact, you chill, you shock. You get the speeds here and everything, and then Essence of Glutton for survivability, or some Mystery of Sacrifice for survivability. This is just overall really nice for so many things. And corpse specific builds are gonna be nice as well. You can also use zombies to shock and chill with the claws that makes them considered corpses. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, we have the bone armor here, which is like, this is literally the same as steel skin, except it also applies for your minions, which is a really, really nice. Overall, this is just all around amazing. The one bad thing about this, I think, you lost minion regen. Previously you had 2% regen, which was big defense. And now we also didn't gain any regen in the skill tree, so yeah. Or if it did, it was very minor because I don't remember it. Elementalist, holy fuck. All I'm gonna say. Well, no. You get 2 extra golems. So you have a base 3 by Cruel Lap if you go here. Gives you all elemental immunity. So you cannot be frozen, shocked, chilled, ignited. Really, really good. You also get a lot of buff effects. Golem is gonna be great. You can also you can go here and then you can go like Mastermind or go into Beacon of Ruin and then just have a really GG build because of the free flask suffixes, and just that's a lot of buff effect. You get a lot of stuff from a Golemander now. We have like you can literally have 4 golems by the time you do Cruel Lab if you go for Golemander, like Golem Commander. Or sorry, it's just so nice, so goddamn nice. Occultist. I mean, we got 40 flat ES region here. I guess that's nice if you're EB. And it's a minor buff for the low life slash hybrid, like just high ES chaos res righteous fire setups. Pathfinder. Well, okay, so they removed the alchemist, rest in peace, and then they scattered the flask stuff in this cluster. Then have 10% flask effect in these 2 nodes. You have another 8% in profane chemistry and 8% in the arcane chemistry. Arcane chemistry was already insane with just reduced flash charge use, and now it has 8% effect as well. So even though Pathfinder itself didn't receive anything, you have a crazy amount of flask effect here. It's absolutely insane. Arcane chemistry is gonna be very insane anointment. I'll definitely be hunting this for a lot of builds, I think. And then for the skill tree, well, there's the Rip Alchemist. Was a good run. I basically every single build that was somewhere here, I always went for Alchemist. It was so good. Indigon is actually indirectly very much buffed with the mana flask shit, because it also Indigon is also a life flask. It gives you, I think it's up to 10% or 8%, I don't remember exactly, life recovered immediately when you use a mana flask. And there's a mod on mana flasks that makes it not stop when you go on full mana, and non-instant mana flasks heal your life pool as well, so you actually get a continuous life and mana flask with Indigon, which is Indigon Pathfinders, Indigon Hierophants are gonna be GG. I guess Mana Guardians too, even though Mana Guardians did get a bit nerf. More about that later. But yeah, overall we just have more mana stuff on the skill tree and the flask, especially mana flask stuff. I feel like most builds that don't go like crazy mana scaling are just gonna go EB and ES Leech or Devouring Diadem that gives you EB, and then it gives 10% chance to get ES recharge when you use a skill, and then you can take something like Wicked Ward and you have basically permanent ES recharge. Then you go MOM. EB MOM Wicked Ward is gonna be probably played a lot. Dot damage multipliers for everyone. That's also why the Righteous Fire got buffed, because now we have damage over time. Wait, let's go with multiplier, I guess. We have damage multiplier, damage over multiplier here. We have some here. We have some here, and we have some here. There's also some here from crits, like from ignites, crit ignites. But overall, every non-high ES Righteous Fire build basically got buff damage-wise because of the new multiplier. You can also roll it on jewels and on weapons. Not sure if you can get it on a shield. Yeah. We have so many minion nodes. I can see myself trying to make a minion build and having 150 points. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck am I gonna drop? Because there's this. Okay, this cluster didn't exist. This cluster didn't exist. This cluster didn't exist. And this cluster didn't exist. Also, neither did this. Ugh. It's just, we have everything everywhere. Or actually, no, I think Grave Pact was a cluster, but it just like moved. There's just so much shit here, dude. It's just like absolutely crazy on what all we have here. There's just everything. We can now generate arcane shards on an EB build, so you can't normally do it because for arcane shards you need mana spent. I mean, you could use a weapon craft on kill, but you can also have it on 3 nodes on skill tree now. 10% chance to gain arcane shards when you kill an enemy, and you get 10% effect, so that's going to be 11% more damage with this route and some cast speed. Definitely viable option for EB builds. The utmost notables, so mainly the int, the intellect, and then the strength or might, got moved so that they are not in the radius of any jewel anymore, so you can't use the, get stats from strength or change your stats into other stats. Those don't work anymore. I mean, they were pretty crazy, to be honest, so I don't mind that. Perfect Agony is gonna be nice now. They buffed it. It was 30% before, and now it's 50% of the value. Also, you cannot use Perfect Agony with Element Overload, because Overload has ailments never count as pain from crit strike, so if you take this, you can't do that anymore. Crit scales degens now as well, even without that, so that's kind of interesting. Crit fire trap sounds pretty good. You just gotta, because you have the crit, you get flat damage against burning enemies. Ignite, I think it's burning. You have burning ground, they increase AoE. You go crit, you get crazy hits, you scale the degens, the ignites, it's gonna be interesting. Yep. Then we go to some item balance. So then the like normal space, unique sort of a bit later. We have finally got the classified daggers and staves to rune and war staves, so we don't, so it's easy to recognize what are the bases that you can roll caster mods. Nice. They were already last patch like that, but now they're actually like classified. Scepters are no scepters, not 100 maces. Very nice. No more trap and mine shaper gloves and helms. So the throw extra trap or place another additional mine. Interestingly, it said elder as well on the patch notes, but it's actually just shaper. But yeah, no more that. We have minion ones. We have 2 new ring bases, which I don't believe we have seen yet. Damage over time multipliers for all dot types. We can get them in on jewels and weapons and all that shit. You can get mana rolls on belts now, which is a slight nerf if you want to get like GG life armor, Ved or Edva belts, but overall I think it's a good change. And hybrid builds or builds that want mana can now roll it, so that's good, instead of just crafting it from the crafting bench. Mana flask rebalance, they are now shorter, they give you more mana, and they have more uses. I'm just gonna go with the Indicorn. The plus lighting, fire, gold, the socketed gems no longer in. It's no longer. I mean, yeah, it's not longer socketed, right? So now it's global. This means you can have a +3 fire and +2 global on a staff for the +5. It's pretty big. They are really rare though, but you can do that. Also, shields can also get plus globals, but it's only for int based. I think the others can't get any of those. Recipes also changed, so you can't do the +1 socketed lightning, fire, and cold. Instead, you get flat. That's actually buff for racing because flat damage is so strong. Though we don't know the values. What we do know is that depending on the rarity of the ring, you get more, so that's nice. Caster leveling is going to be a lot easier now, even though it was already pretty good. Except if you're one level as chaos, because they removed the chaos recipe, and we don't have that. I wish they made the chaos recipe to give you either percentage chaos damage or a bit of chaos damage over time multiplier, maybe. Like a very low, I don't know. It feels a bit weird, they just ripped it off and didn't give anything else. Mana Leech is now gone, and the base percentage, like from your maximum mana pool from the enchants, is gone, so... I mean, Mana Leech for spells in general just doesn't exist anymore in the game, at least in leagues. However, we're getting a mana, like increased mana regen enchant, which could potentially be more than the flat percentage, depending on your mana pool and how much flat you get elsewhere. For most build, that's strictly worse though, and it was nice to have the life and mana regen on the same enchant. Yeah, the good thing about this is though that the older enchant needed you to get hit. With this mana regen, like the increased regen, it only cares about you casting a spell recently. Yeah, we can stack resonators now, which is insane. We had a bigger stack of Parents coins. I think it was 50,000 now, which is pretty good. They removed life and monoliths mods on flasks. I mean, nobody used them anyways, but they really just feel like they want to just rip off the monoliths anywhere. And it didn't even work for spells before, so it's kind of weird. Essence of Seal gives now bind and trap throw speed. That's good. The Rage, Spite, and Sorrow, which are the plus levels of Socketed Gems, now give Pen. That's gonna make it harder to get like a +2 staff for like SRS early if you wanted to, or something like that. Also makes it harder to get Ellie hit going on early. But I mean, Ellie Pen is pretty good. Cries in Inquisitor, ignore resistance. Uniques! Most of the gem uniques, no, they are global. Not all of them though. Brutal Restrain is no longer flask effect, now it's non-unique flask effect. So even more vault skill setup rips. Because previously you scaled that to have the reduced soul cost at a crazy level from flask effect. Watcher's Eye Clarity, the minus mana cost, now doesn't work for channel skills at all. It's a bit weird because they split it in the Elrond and then they split it on something else I can't remember right now. But yeah, Elrond and yeah, never mind, I can't remember. Either way, now they just completely ripped it off from the Watcher's Eye, which is weird. I don't know why they didn't split it. They have like higher on the non-channeled and then lower on the channeled. Poet's Pen went from 0.25 cooldown to 0.25 cooldown, 25, yeah, cooldown to 0.15, so you need more attack speed for that. Ash Color is now a really nice low-level fire dot leveling wand. Previously it was like flat damage. Now it has the dot multiplier. Blast Beamer is the Elder Gloves. Can get up to 40% all dot damage or time multiplier now with if you have 10 Elder items, which is pretty crazy actually. Previously it was increased. So that's interesting. Vis Mortis also no more plus on Spectres. I don't know why the Vis Mortis, it gets Elias Chaos. I mean, it's good, but it's weird. Why is it Eli? Why is it like non-chaos as chaos before? Because people would say physical to elemental to that. I mean, then let it do that. It just feels weird. Coded Shrapnel might see some use now. It has 25 chance to poison, and they buffed the added damage to it, I think. So we might see some... That's a way to get poisons on like mines that might otherwise not have it. So... Rain of Arrows, poison, we'll see. Or traps in general. Like, maybe we'll see crit, Bladefall, Trapper, or Miner come back or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. The fact that you can throw your mines on top of enemy might actually make Bladefall poison Bladefall mines come back. We'll see. Because now you get some nice hits and then you scale some poisons from your crits and yeah, we'll see. Most minion specific jewels are now gone or they got changed heavily. Healthy Mind is now limited to 1, so that's big oof for Mana Guardian. But at the same time, there's a lot of mana on the skill tree, so I haven't done the math or anything like that, but it's a nerf most likely, but I don't think it's gonna break the build in anywhere. It's weird that Inspired Learning didn't get this treatment though. Kinda weird. Tempered, the int and strength, we already talked about this. So for the utmost notables, they buffed the jewels a bit because we lost a lot of the effects from these being moved. From dust buff to +4 additional skellies, so you can actually summon 9 skellies with that. It was 2 before. Dead Dragoning now gives 15 major skellies, so with only 1 jewel, you can set up your skelly mage build instead of from 5 per jewel, so that's nice. You get jewel slots. Curtain Call, which is the extra trap or mine helm. Previously it was 500 dex or int to get it. Now it's 800, which basically means unless you're stacking int or dexterity for bow builds, so you get the cold damage for bow builds per dex, or Whispering Eyes, or the wand mod that gives you lightning damage per int, I don't think it's ever gonna be worth it. But for those, it could be interesting, because now we always throw the base 1 mine, so with that you might not want to need to use like the minefield or something like that. Crafting changes. Well, we got the dot for everything and everyone. Veiled Flask is only 1 unveil, which is really good. Specific ones, such as the Cannot Be Evaded, only need half as much now, which also means it's easier to get all of the good stuff. We can craft flat ES again on rings, that's nice. The hybrid life and mana crafts apparently were too strong, so now it's just life and mana regen, or mana and life regen. The mana cost is now split for non-channeled and channeled, so basically this is less and this is more, or this is probably what it was for, and then this is just the lower version. Sorry, lower version, and then what is right now. Because it was too much minus mana cost for channel skills like Scorching Ray, Blight, etc. There's no mention of what incursion mods though, so maybe the incursion mods wasn't nerfed or split, we'll see. League mechanic changes, so Betrayal, we have a shared board. Nice, good. On top of all the craft stuff, Syndicate Mastermind is probably worth running now, because we get a lot of rewards. Basically everything that has a role, even if it's in the prison, will now give you rewards. That's a lot of shit. Also, you don't lose the safe house, like the intelligence progression, even though you get the shuffle, so that's nice. The Mastermind doesn't decay the intelligence anymore, so the moment you get it to max, it can't go, like when you have the safe house ready, it can't go back anymore, which is nice. You can always release now, so you remember the times when you were doing like what is it called again, research, where you went down there and then you fought the guys and then you talked, and you just, like, the only options are either jail it, and then you're gonna lose like you're gonna lose your Eat That Fled's rank 3, or kick them out completely and like, fuck, I can't do either, and then you had to run away, like out from the place. So now you can always do the ignore one, which is so good. Thank God it's finally there. We get less empty encounters, that's good. Basically more people to fight, more things to do. Delve, shared soul fight, that's so nice. I'm gonna make a pure delving character, probably as my second character in the league already, which literally never does anything in maps, maybe exits on boss. We get a lot faster access to maps now, like map level delve, and it's like the higher, on like the 83 areas. However, it's gonna take a bit more soul fight to get there, because it's so much faster to get there. I don't think anyone minds that. We also get a bit more rare encounters, and we can find the legions in the delve now, which is nice. Incursion, the legion rooms are now there. I guess it's nice if you really want to farm the legion jewels, but most likely people are going to hate it because they want their corruption rooms, so that's going to make it harder to get that. We get incursion rares, I think, are getting nerfed on their life a bit, especially good because of the legion shit. And then two, I think it was the Wall Fallen, and then the casters are getting life nerfs. It's good, even though It also means they're going to be squishier for specters, but they are really tanky anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just nice because previously they were so goddamn tanky after the rare HP buffs. Masters, we're getting a new system, so you didn't yet know if we can accumulate the missions, so we can store them and run them on the map we want later. But we still do get them rarely in maps. They don't want to completely remove that from us, so we still have like some quote-unquote forced missions to do, but not as much. An important thing to note: if you wanna farm, like get up those crazy amount of master missions to do later, you cannot do that in stronghold setups because you have to kill the map boss in order to the bonus stored master mission to proc. And in strongholds, you don't want to kill the boss. If you're farming the strongholds for dim cards or shit like that, you can't kill the boss because the stronghold is gone, right? So that doesn't work. We also get one mission each of the masters every daily. So when we get the daily set for like lab and shit like that, however, you have to log in for that day to get it. I think it's enough to just log in. You don't have to talk to anything or anything like that. You just log in, and that should be enough. Also, they start accumulating once you reach out like maps. Yeah, we can choose the map we run it within tiers. So if you're running white maps, you get to store white missions, yellow for yellows, red for reds. So you can run T16 missions by running like T11s because they're all reds, right? The good thing about doing red is that you can then roll maps you want and use like sextants, and I mean you can use sextants anyways, but like you are allowed to roll the map, so you can do like super juiced up high quantity maps, especially for those sulfide nodes. I'm assuming, because we can use Zana mods on them, that you can bypass the white or yellow mission by using the shape 5 tiers or Elder into T16, but obviously you can't roll the map then, right? So that's the downside, and it costs chaos. Synthesis bosses are now through Zana missions. I'm totally expecting that the Cortex boss and like the you know, if you want the bosses, you should probably do red tier mission. That's my guess. Probably the higher the better. And they have modifiers, so that means we are fucked, and they are gonna be rare. They said something about as rare as Undead Paradise, but they also said that they wanted to make them a bit less rare, but that's a yikes from me. Then other stuff, minions no longer die to traps. There's two things. We have minion moving while bleeding doesn't cause minions to take extra damage. Well, that affects traps, but mainly this affects like crazy bleeds in maps. But there's like 90% less damage from traps to minions or something like that. Pretty big. Monsters in general have less accuracy, means high evasion and like mid-tier evasion characters are more tanky now. We have no Beyond in map device. Rip your double Beyond Headhunter setups, I guess. Mainly the pure and the lower versions of the upgraded Bridgestones have now their life values buffed. I guess this mainly really matters for Tribula and Ulnetul because they weren't. So previously, because of the low level on the elemental ones, the life scaled when you increased the zone level, and because Tribula as a base is like level 80, meant that there wasn't too many levels to increase that, and therefore the life of the pure like Tool and Xof and Ash was much higher. I think it was like double or something like that to Tribula. So Tribula is gonna be tanky as fuck in pure Bridgestones. This should have been since they introduced it, but they just, I don't know, I guess it was an oversight. Later Dark Forest bosses probably gonna be a bit feels good man to kill now for builds that don't immediately kill them, because now they're gonna be staying in the human form for a bit longer, so that's nice. We can now control scroll wheel stat stops, that's nice. I mean, you could already do it through other programs like the TC IP macro. But that's nice to have it as a base game. And we're getting star stops to get the Harpy currencies, and we get Legion splinters, and we get Legion emblems and all that. So that's nice. And that was everything about, I guess, the balance and the Blight League and patch notes. I'm surprised I did this in under an hour. Yeah, that is all. I'm excited. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon.